Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Right Light Reacts. Thank you for tuning in for my 5th installment. I think last time I said it was my 3rd, but that was my 4th. This is actually my 5th. All right, listen, I'm human. Okay, things happen. All right, but nah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Share with anybody you know that may be interested into the occult, the paranormal, the metaphysical, the spirituality of our existence. I really enjoy making this content. I know it takes I feel like I do one every month, but for right now, it's the allotted time I need it. As far as just kind of compartmentalizing, coming up with content that I think you guys would be interested in, and as well as just spending as much time off screen as possible. Like, I'm currently taking a social media break, and I'm noticing it's making some of the most tremendous difference and impact in my life, as far as just being more intentional about my workout regimen, being more conscientious of what I'm eating, what I'm drinking. I recently just decided to stop drinking alcohol, just completely. And being off social media, I realized that my awareness and my presence is more impactful. Whether it's with family and friends, my work, I'm just more intentional. I'm more intentional, and it feels pretty damn good. So yeah, what's been going on lately? We got the alien disclosure, the UFO disclosure files from our government. We have the Hantavirus that has recently touched down in the States a few days ago. And the housing market is still trash. Gas prices are astronomically high. The job market's trash. And that's kind of what's leading me into this segment. So I saw this video of this young lady. I think she was on, what's it called? I'm having a brain fart. She was on, was it Instagram? What is the name of that other platform? Goodness. TikTok. Yeah, she was on TikTok. And she titled her video Age of Disclosure, but it was really a video of transparency of what's going on in her life. And she was saying how, she really can't afford to live. And this is, I'm 38, she looked like she was about my age or younger. And she was talking about how she can't afford an apartment. She's working a minimum wage job, but she has a psychology degree. But she's also paying off student loan debt with credit cards. So that has put her credit score in a deficit. She can't get a place to stay because of her credit score. She doesn't have a lot of support. She's had several mental breakdowns. And as she was talking, I was just thinking, I can only imagine how many other people are in the same crisis that she's in, and in the same boat, and going through the same process that she's currently facing. And it sucks. It really does. And my heart goes out to her. I'm not gonna I saw her name, and I'm not gonna call her name on here. Hopefully you guys find a video and you just can support her in any way, shape, or form that you see fit. But it was just really unfortunate, and it caused me to really consider the energy that I have around me, the energy that I'm also putting out, because you just never know what people are going through. We're just living in some tumultuous times, man, and people are really suffering. So be kind, man. When you run across people, be kind to one another, because you just never know what people are going through, bro. So with all that being said, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you guys are creating routines for yourself that keeps you balanced, keeps you sane. Check on your loved ones, check on your friends. If you have a job, count it as a blessing, because a lot of people don't. So, hopefully what I do here, what I'm doing on this platform, is giving people an escape, but also giving them a different perspective, a different sort of knowledge to impart into their life, because these things that are going on now, they were fairy tale at some point, but now they're actually our reality. You know, we couldn't imagine in a million years, 20, 25 years ago, that we would have alien disclosure, or we would have two potentially genocidal, is that the word, genocidal? Two potentially genocidal viruses that are killing up millions of people. You know, but this is happening, and we have to prepare. We have to do our part to stay informed. So with that being said, I'm going to delve into this video compilation. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, share with anybody you know or you would think would be interested in this information. And also, I would like you guys' feedback. You know, the comment section is for you guys to give your feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. Like, I just want to hear what you guys think about what's happening in our world. If you want to give your own personal testimonies below, please feel free. I gladly support and I gladly interact. But yeah, with all that being said, again, let's get into this. Grab yourself some food, grab yourself something to drink. And as always, let's get weird.
President Trump just released the alien files. And if what's in those pictures are real, then we might have a bigger problem than we think. I don't think that people understand how crazy this situation is, because it's not just a conspiracy anymore. These are official government files being released to the public. The government opened up a brand new UFO disclosure portal, and they dropped over 160 files from the Pentagon, the FBI, NASA, intelligence agencies, and military departments. You have videos, images, astronaut reports. Look at this shit right here. You have orb sightings. You got military encounters. And these are cases investigators still can't explain. You got one report describing an object making impossible 90-degree turns in the air. Another report describing orange glowing orbs releasing smaller red orbs over military zones. Mind you, they got reports connected to Apollo missions, Gemini missions. You got metallic football-shaped objects appearing next to military operations. Mind you, they're claiming that many of these cases remain unsolved, meaning they can't fully explain what people saw. Mind you, they're saying that this is only the beginning, that they're going to continuously release these files. But I need you to go back and remember this, because they have to be getting us ready for something. This was the year of disclosure. We already knew this. So what's coming after this? Because if what they're saying about 2027 is true, this is just a small part of the introduction to everything.
Trump just released the first footage of the UFO files. It's going to be a long ass summer for all of us. Let me repeat that. The first footage. They have more. Way more. I hear some people saying that this is just a distraction because of the virus that's going on right now. If it's not the virus, it's what happened with Disney World. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. Some people say they're aliens, they're demons, they're angels, whatever they are, they've been here. If you ever had contact with them, you know exactly how this shit is about to play out. Yes, play out. Movie, entertainment, acting. Life is a stage. These people ran out of tricks to use, and the UFO is the last one. In fact, it's the masterpiece. They've been cooking this shit up for a long time. And 95% of the population is about to eat this shit up. They're not gonna know what to do. Remember, these people are masters at distracting. What do the word distract really mean? Anytime we have a global awakening, what do? Distractions. When they distract you, they take pieces from your spirit. Let me give you an example. You ever went to the hospital and your stomach was hurting and the doctor said, well, we did our research and you have a problem with your stomach. How about we do surgery and take a piece of it? And they're gonna say, well, you don't really need the whole thing. Just give us a part of it. This is what's happening right now with the politicians and media. We have a global awakening, but they're gonna give us some bullshit stories and say, you don't need your global awakening. Take this. Take. That's all they do. When we try to add, they subtract. They don't multiply. They just distract. I must say they did a hell of a job. You know why?
That's true.
Because these life forms really do exist, but they lied to us so much. We don't know what to believe. They might come out and show us real aliens doing real things, and we might say, that's just AI. That's just the media trying to distract us. There is something else going on, but they don't want us to know about it. Can I tell you how the internet really works? You ready for this? Too much information is never good. Download.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Download. Too much stimulation.
Need a break, man.
You ever charge your cell phone and was using it at the same time? That shit get really hot. Well, our mind worked the same way. Too much information, especially from the Matrix, is not good. What they're about to do to the public, pretty bad. Remember, they only release one video. They have way more. The other shit that's coming is going to change the way you see life, spirituality, and religion.
So I kind of want to address a few things he said. I do believe that there will be a counterfeit movement in regards to the real disclosure as far as extraterrestrials actually revealing themselves to the general public. And I think there will be a counterfeit that the government is going to use. I remember J.D. Vance, he said in an interview, somebody asked him the question, does he think alien life exists or whatever? What does he think it is? Something to that effect. And he said, yeah, aliens are demons. He just said that very matter-of-factly. Now, I'm the type of person, if you try to feed me some bullshit once before, then everything after that, like, you got a track record of bullshit. So I'm just going to take whatever you say as bullshit afterwards. Like, so if he said that they're demons, that kind of gives me cause for pause, because whatever they consider as an enemy, you have to reconsider as probably a friend, because we have been put in a system that has legitimately caused us to drain our energy. Period. Your job, the idea of money, just the idea of money. I mean, any type of income you receive, any type of bill you got to pay, it's a loose factory that's caused to drain, drain and zap your energy, drain and zap your essence. And they are the foundational mechanisms of that. So if they say something's demonic, again, you probably got to have a side eye at that, right? I do think that there's going to be some type of Project Blue Beam that happens where it's going to be like maybe a second coming of Jesus event that really knocks people off the track as far as the real disclosure that's supposed to happen. The people like Stephen Greer, the people like Jason Wilcock, William Cooper, people that have been talking about this for decades now, and have been trying to prepare us for the implementation of these extraterrestrials that are going to be a part of our society in the open. So I think we just have to use our discernment as best as possible to really be able to decipher through the bullshit of what is a man-made distraction and what is actually a benevolent force that is coming to aid and help us in elevating as a society and as a collective race. But we'll see.
So the ultra-terrestrials, I'll just tell you, the ultra-terrestrials, I think, have you heard of the P-52s and the P-47s? Do you know what that is? They're us from the future. They're from here. They are you. They are me. They're from here, from the future. P-47 is present plus 47,000 years. P-52 is present plus 52,000 years. And basically there's a calamity, right? So there's like a apocalypse scenario in the near future. It wipes out most of like everything, man. And there's the ones that go underground and survive, right? And then there's the ones that somehow stay on the surface and miraculously don't die.
Billionaires have been building bunkers for the past 5 to 6 years, if I'm not mistaken. Amy Eskridge was a NASA scientist, astrophysicist that lost her life in 2022. This is prior to her, like, obviously doing these videos or whatever. She was basically putting out information in regards to what the alien hybridization program was actually about. I think I mentioned that in my last video, where aliens from the future basically were taking certain humans for breeding purposes to continue to repopulate or basically ensure that they don't become extinct, because in their timeline, and these aliens, I believe they're grays, they being us from the future, as Amy was mentioning, these aliens came to the past, came to our timeline because they lost the ability to reproduce. So it was some type of catastrophic event that happened in their timeline. They had to go under the ground. If you're not exposed to sun, if you don't have proper nutritional mechanizations, and you're underground for a particular period of time, but you're advanced technologically, you're going to come up with the means as to how to survive. But you probably won't be the same hominid species you were before going underground. So they came to our time actually as also a warning to us that if we continue to go down the path that we're currently going down, with artificial intelligence, Neuralink, all these other things, and we get further and further away from nature, this is a potential result. So she said that, she disclosed it, and she paid with it for her life. It's unfortunate because I feel like as many scientists are currently missing, I think it's like maybe 12 to 15 scientists that are missing or coming up dead. I believe that they are all under the same umbrella of having a specific knowledge that they wanted to deliberate to the public, but they're currently being silenced for. But while we're currently being distracted with everything that I mentioned, like as far as social media, AI, kind of just twisting the reality, so to speak, it is really going to be fascinating the percentage of people, the populace of people that go along with the narrative of, this natural deaths, and we don't know what's going on with these scientists, and it's demons coming from the sky, as opposed to those that actually listen to their conscience and take in the information that these scientists, these physicists were telling us years prior, and we use our better judgment to really know when the good forces are coming to help us change, or to bridge the gap in between what's happening with our own consciousness and the raising of our consciousness and what they have to incorporate as far as the knowledge that they possess, and helping us create a better society. But it's up to us, really. It's really up to us. We are the ones that are continuing to perpetuate the American dream. We go to work, we're paying bills, we're paying for shit that really we don't have to pay for, because the people that are in control of us are not paying for it. But we're in a cycle, and it needs to be broken. And maybe this intervention is what's going to be needed to take place in order to break it. Guess we'll see.
Instagram. I told y'all it would be aliens. 17 weeks ago, I made a video informing Instagram that aliens would be coming.
The aliens will be here soon.
People asked me if I was okay or on shrooms. Right after the Epstein files come out, Obama just happens to frolic along and say,
they're real, but I haven't seen them, and
Aliens are real. This is actually called diversionary tactic, which is a strategic action used to take attention away from the primary issue at focus. Then, as if they were two teammates on a football field, Trump gently takes the football from Obama. First, he softly reprimands his friend.
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know?
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information.
Notice how unfazed Trump looks. This is actually one of Trump's skills. He is acting bored and disinterested because he knows that he is a prism for the press. He knows whatever he acts disinterested in, the press focuses on. Then Trump said he is directing the Secretary of War to begin the process of releasing government files related to UFOs and aliens. The reason I was right, excuse me, about the aliens is because you can feel the cultural heat and tension rising to the surface. There is too much truth coming forward. And one way to divert the awakening that comes from truth is through diversionary war. This is an international relations term that defines a war created by a country to distract a population from domestic issues, into channeling the rage of the populace into anything but focusing on the PD. This is actually what happened in the 1970s during the People's Revolution in China. Rage was redirected to usher in Mao's power. And who did they use as puppets for this revolution? The youth. They had the youth of China channel their anger at ancient tradition, officials and intellectuals of the day. Today it isn't just the youth being used. It is races being persuaded to hate each other, to do crime to each other. Just as Mao directed the youth to attack, the media of today influences different races to attack one another.
And why the focus on race wars? Because race is superficial. Conditioning humans to think that someone who looks different from them is a threat is a great way to prepare the mind for alien wars. I'm not on mushrooms. If you like my videos and want a handmade artisanal candle.
Check my story, Butter.
Also, who started the galactic space wars? That will help protect us in the alien war. Let me know your thoughts below.
I don't know if I'm her little butter, but, you know, I appreciate the sweet sentiments. But she's right. Goes back to what I was just saying as far as them propping up this us against them mentality, which we've obviously been suffering from and know all too well with our own racial wars in America. But it's easy to get a populace caught up in that if you've already trained them to be caught up in that. It's the Hungarian dialect. You create a problem and create the solution. They will pose the aliens being a problem to humanity, like Ronald Reagan said in a speech in the late 80s. And they will create a solution. But will it be a solution? When have they ever created a solution for us? Again, you just got to use your own discernment, do some research, and really just pay attention to what's going on. Read the tea leaves, see the patterns, and the people that have been placed to govern over you, and you judge for yourself if they have your best interests at heart. Maybe the unknown is actually what's best for you, and it's worth looking into. Just maybe.
A little better.
The reason why everything feels insane right now is because the future is inevitable and they're trying to do everything in their power to stop it from happening, but it's impossible. They are losing hold of power and control. They know what the future holds. They're essentially losing their minds because they know what's coming. Let's talk about Project Looking Glass and the Stargate Project. Woo! I love a conspiracy, so if you don't like it, keep scrolling because you're either awake or you're asleep. So Project Looking Glass is defined as a tabletop intelligence community exercise methodology developed by the Intelligence Technology Innovation Center that complements traditional military war gaming. But actually, Project Looking Glass was actually about a device that allowed the government to look into the future. Yeah. It could input probabilities and scenarios into this technology, into this device, and it would show them the potential outcomes. And so nations would borrow this tech and use it because obviously they all want to influence and increase their control. But eventually, all of the outcomes, no matter what they did, led to the same future. And they stopped using it because this was influenced by their use of this technology. These are all claims, this is all alleged. And it's said that around 2012 is when all of these futures converged and there was no way to control the outcome. So now, fast forward, we're in 2026, the veil is lifting. People are awake. People are aware. A lot of the lies that they've told us, a lot of the brainwashing, the propaganda, things we've been taught, it's all being dismantled in real time. Additionally, I believe it was around the year 1999 was when there was a huge boom and surge in tech. And around that same time is when we started seeing Mandela effects come into play, because they could manipulate the past by making technology the god. And that's what we see with AI. That's what we see with this move towards making everything digital. We already know that the winners are the ones that impact history and what is taught in schools. The losers don't get a say in the history books. So we're not told the truth about what really happened in a lot of these cases. And we'll probably never know. But the veil is being lifted. And so now they're scrambling. And this also correlates to the Stargate project, which I also find it very interesting, because when you look up the Stargate project and Project Looking Glass, Stargate project is now what comes up as Project Stargate, which is the big AI initiative to invest like $500 billion into AI technology. That's interesting. And then when you look up Project Looking Glass, you get a software development company. Interesting. The Stargate project was also about looking into the future using psychics and psychic phenomena in military and domestic intel operations, so they could see into the future with psychics. So anyway, so there was no way to change the future. And I think now we're seeing all these things come to a head, things that just so blatant, the evil, the methods, because they can't be covert anymore. They've lost control over our minds. They're not able to subvert all of us. We're all awake and aware. And so they're trying to use fear, violence, murder. All of it points to clamoring for power, clamoring for control, trying to have some semblance of control over the outcomes because they know that they've already lost. And it reminds me of a verse in the Bible that I just love, which is, "You are fighting a battle that I have already won." These people in power know that Jesus is real. They know that God is real. They have seen it. And they are fighting it with every fiber of their beings because they chose the devil. And they wanted to subvert you and make you choose the devil, make you turn away from God. So you can't see what's right in front of you. You can't see inevitability that good will always win. Evil may reign for a long, long time, but the future has always been inevitable because it's been predetermined. Amen.
Yeah, the actual government in America held a secret meeting and invited pastors into this room where they talked about something very, very crazy. It seems like we're living in the Matrix right now. And these government officials told these pastors something about Jesus, which is very surprising, and it's something that I've been talking about for a long time. So these were secret meetings, phones were on airplane mode, no recordings, but pastors were shown images of non-human beings and aircraft that did not come from this planet. And they were given one message to take back to their churches. That disclosure is coming, and when it does, they're going to tell you that aliens created us, that Jesus was invented by these alien life form, and the Bible was written by them too. I'm not just a conspiracy theorist here, you can look this up. Multiple pastors have now confirmed this happened, that this was a real true thing, and now here's what they don't want you to understand. The enemy has always counterfeited the divine. Always. That's not new theology. That's the whole story of scripture. The question isn't whether these beings exist or not. The real question is, do you actually know Jesus? Like without religion. When the government are telling you that Jesus is not real and that these aliens created Jesus, created religion, are you gonna still believe in Jesus, or are you gonna turn your back? Because I'm not talking about religion, I'm not talking about church, I am talking about Jesus Christ. Because if you do know Jesus, this new disclosure will not shake you. Remember to follow, because I'm going to keep on breaking this down the more it...
The young lady that just spoke, and the young lady prior to her, they have a different perspective on, I'm assuming they're coming from a theological perspective with the mention of Christianity, Jesus, and biblical teachings. I have my own spin based off research I've done. I do believe that people that still attend or believe in the Judeo-Christian perspective of the Bible and how it's written, I think that some of them are going to be in for a rude awakening. I believe that it's really going to psychologically warp a lot of people to know that there are beings out there that look nothing like them. The description that they have been fed their whole lives of what an angel is and what a chariot is, in all actuality, are actually UFOs. And these angels and these demons are nothing but multi-dimensional beings. Hopefully some of these things were addressed and discussed in these meetings that I had. But there's definitely going to be, I can see a great falling away from a lot of religious structures and organizations and beliefs. I personally think that needs to happen. For so long, people have been taught to not think for themselves, or how to think, or how to process, particularly spiritual knowledge and theological information. So it could go both ways, but it's definitely going to be something that really flips people's worlds upside down. And hopefully the crash out is controlled, because if it's not, we're just going to have a whole nother mess on our hands. But yeah, like the previous young lady was saying, they are definitely going to create some form of a distraction, and they know they have lost based off them not being able to peer into the future past 2012 with the use of Project Looking Glass. The future is basically ambivalent for them, so they're going to use the means of which we're seeing now: the war, virus, distractions with media, distractions with entertainment industry. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and say this: like, if you're still into the Oscars and the Grammys, and you care about the Met Gala, and even somebody that used to be an avid sports fan, like, if you still follow that crap religiously, now with all this stuff going on, you really need to get your priorities in order. I'm just gonna say that. The fashion industry has totally pulled the veil off of any type of secrecy, any type of code that they may have had. They are completely demonic at this point. And I believe that they know that the time is up. That disclosure in every way, shape, or form is about to take place. So I can't say this enough. You just want to make sure that you're just on the right side. And when I say the right side, I mean have your heart in order. And there's a collective shift that is happening, and you want to make sure that you're on the wave of righteousness and love. Choice is yours, though. I'm just here to spread the message. Don't shoot me.
You got a compass, moving, grooving, vibing, sliding throughout the sky. 8-point star. Ayo. What the fuck is that? Hello? What's going on, son? This shit is just floating in the air. You just now telling us? I know why you just now telling us, because that means these files right here, the ones that we all really want to see, got to be wicked. Why would they see some shit like this and they huddle up and be like, you know what? No people can see this. Hell no. You see that shit? I feel like everybody just want to keep everything a secret. If I was one of them pilots, immediately, hey yo, I got a fucking snowflake. This bitch is flying. Left, right, up, down. I have no idea. This shit is crazy though. Now people, they release mad UFO videos, mad UFO files, and you know what that means? The other files gotta be atrocious, iniquitous, vociferous, Mephistophelian in the worst way. But regardless, we went through these bitches. Another one I found pretty interesting, we have another tic-tac type video where this shit moving, grooving, vibing, slide, but then it's spinning the block. And obviously these people watching from afar, they're just trying to get a radar on it. But my thing is, they're better than us, they're smarter than us, they're more technologically advanced. So whenever they want to be seen, it's because they're like, hello, hey, yeah, what the fuck's going on? That's me. You feel me what I'm saying? Now, this shit start moving through the windmills. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's always been speculation that they're either like studying energy or kind of watching us from afar. Definitely anytime there's like nuclear shit going on, they somewhere in the light peroxide. Now, what are they doing going through this little windmill field? I have no fucking idea. But at the end of the day, this looks like a small 1 to 2 person craft. And you know me, I think these motherfuckers got underwater bases.
I do too.
Once again, underwater bases. Because there was a reason NASA went down that motherfucker and all of a sudden they was like, whoa, never mind, we going to space. What about the moon, Mars? Of course, the administration had to do their performative bullshit. Here's this file that was left on my desk earlier.
Official left this hard drive on my desk overnight.
But, that reminds me of something else that y'all capped about. Haters don't forget. Reminds me of this. When the files have been released, we got these new binders that had absolutely nothing in them other than old files. And basically, they put it off for another 6 months, and then all you bitch-ass niggas got caught red-handed because they really was doing that nasty-ass percenter of shit that we all speculated. The Apollo 17 transcript was crazy, though, because they try to say, oh, that's just insulation floating around. But now they're like, oh, we actually have no idea what that was. Definitely could have been StarCrafts. And they was talking back and forth. They're like, no, there's a bunch of shit outside my window. I don't know what this is. Clearly, motherfuckers watching. I love UFOs. I love UAPs. I love aliens. I love all that shit. But it's just very interesting the timing that all of a sudden, shit hitting the fan. We can't open it straight. People dying. Got the files. Trump's staying in office. And now, all of a sudden, oh, look at all these aliens. Look at all these UFO videos. It's like, I don't know, son. It's very convenient. Regardless of all that, whoever recorded the 8-point star, compass, snowflake, UFO, I need answers.
So the government's just disclosed UFOs, UAPs, videos, photos, and documents. Now, before we get into the implications of disclosing such information, let's ask the real question. Is it legitimate? Or is this a false flag event? Is it a distraction? Is it a diversion technique? Or is it simply just misinformation to lead us in the wrong direction? From what I saw, it is indeed the real deal, but only a very, very small percentage of what's actually going on. Let's call it a soft launch into UFO and alien activity. But the real question is why? Why would they do this, right? I mean, there's a lot going on.
Before I let her continue, this is Elizabeth April. I think I mentioned her in a video prior. She's a remote viewer. She's somebody that can astral project outside of her body, travel, and just basically see all kind of shit.
In the world, there's a war, there's potentially a new virus going around. Let's talk about that next. And let's just sprinkle in aliens on top of that. Now, here's why I believe they're disclosing this. It's because not too long ago, the Galactic Federation, who is an organization of good extraterrestrial beings, had a very important, very serious discussion with the government agencies on planet Earth. And essentially what they said is, if you don't disclose cosmic contact, we will. So it was just a matter of time before the government started to disclose this and essentially tell the truth. And it's because they want to control the narrative. Because no matter what, disclosure is happening. It's almost like it's been threatened that it will happen whether they want to be involved in it or not. So of course these government bodies want to be involved in it in order to, make sure that it's more of a soft launch. So let's talk really quickly about the implications of real cosmic disclosure. Most people at first won't even give it a second thought, as they haven't their entire life. But eventually, as more documents, more evidence, more information come out, it's going to really start forcing people to question the nature of their reality and the nature of their belief. It's going to force religious people to question, who is God? Or who was Jesus? Who were the angels that came down from the sky? Was it maybe an off-world influence? To learn more about extraterrestrials, the Galactic Federation, UFOs, space technology, and all of ancient human history and their interaction with us, I have thousands of videos on these topics on my website, elizabethapril.com. So go check that out. Other than that, take everything with a grain of salt, question what's getting released, and understand that this is a part of a greater cosmic galactic disclosure that's going to happen whether the governments are involved in it or not.
One of the things that I learned from whistleblowers from the cabal itself is that they have to work within something they call the rules. And this is very, very important. The rules are a body of spiritual principles that they must follow in order to be allowed to exist. Now, what do I mean by allowed to exist? I mean that they are aware that there are benevolent forces that will prevent them from achieving their goals unless we give them permission.
So I said earlier.
Us. Ultimately, the universe is intelligent, alive, and conscious, and it is benevolent. It is a benevolent consciousness. That consciousness does not allow the negative to succeed unless it is invited. So the cabal has made a science, a very elaborate science, out of studying these arcane, occult, magical principles that allow them to get away with what they do. So they have to put out everything that tells you who they are in music videos, in these Super Bowl halftime shows, the Grammy Awards ceremonies. They're out there showing you the truth. This is what people are going to have so much trouble with once disclosure happens, is that these people actually practice black magic, and they are very, very good at it.
But it's obvious at this point. It's it's painfully obvious that we have been bamboozled. We have been bamboozled in more ways than one. You have old maps with Tartarian empires on them. What the hell is Tartaria? But now we're given more information. We're given more. People are doing more research into what Tartaria was. It was a civilization before the last great reset that were self-sustaining, used energy to power their cities, to power their civilizations at no cost. It's ethereal energy that we all have access to, but they hid that from the history books. Those who, the victor, no matter whether they're good or bad, they get to rewrite history. So a lot of these structures and these monuments that are massive, these churches, these cathedrals that have these emblems, or they're not even emblems, but they're cymatic frequencies in the windows. This is energy. This is how they collected energy. And we're starting to relearn this all over again, but we have to unlearn the bullshit. Get out of celebrity. Get out of what the gossip column is talking about, and what's happening with I don't know who the fuck, because it doesn't really matter. But like our attention largely needs to be refocused on sustaining ourselves from a ethereal spiritual perspective. We really need to unlearn what we have learned as far as what we've been taught in church, and how the world works in general. None of this stuff is how it's supposed to go. But we have had malevolent entities lording over us for generations now that we've just lost our way. We've lost ancient knowledge that was easily accessible to us for centuries. But we gaining it back because we on their ass now and they can't do anything about it. That's why they're perpetuating these wars and these viruses again, it's just a form of distraction over and over again. They don't change the play. But we gotta wake up. It's on us now. As a collective, we have to be the change that we wish to see, and the revolution is being televised. Just don't miss the train, man. That's all I gotta say.
When you do sell in this industry, what you must understand is, when you do sell your soul, you are allowed to live forever. And these people that are called youngins, like I was, had no idea that these people still live. They will prey, haunt, kidnap, anything to stay on top. This is their world. They have nothing but time, is what they believe. The art of exchanging spirits, trading spirits.
And then when they do die, they can move their consciousness from their decaying body, from their dead, body to a new clone of themselves. They can basically, they can harness and control and transport the informational bundle that is a soul from one piece of hardware to another, or wetware to another. They know how to do this, and this is why, like,
that's wild,
in all the human myths about Apollo and Aphrodite and whatever, Zeus himself, these gods seem like they live forever. They always look the same, and whereas humans are, being born and dying generation after generation, these Nordics these gods always look the same, because first of all, their lifespans are thousands of our years per body, and then also they can move their consciousness into clones of themselves. So yeah, it's exactly as you describe it. It was done a very long time ago, and these are the people who manage us.
If anyone has ears to hear, let them hear. This is the Masonic Creed by John D. Rockefeller, written in 1880. It's the secret covenant, the empire of illusion.
Here we go.
An illusion it will be, so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time, so as never to bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. We will work together always and will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so they will never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths. They will destroy their minds and reproductive systems. For all this, their children will be born dead while we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, and what they eat, drink, breathe, and wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that the poisons are good, with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used in film and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them it is for their health. We will start early on when their minds are young. We will target the children with what children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill their mind and steal their future. When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them sicker and cause other diseases, for which we will create yet more medicine. We will render them docile and weak before us by our power. They will grow depressed, slow, and obese, and when they come to us for help, we will give them more poison. We will focus their attention toward money and material goods, so they will never connect with their inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, and games, so they may never be the one with the oneness of it all. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. If they refuse, we will find ways to implement mind-altering technology into their lives. We will use fear as our weapon. We will establish their governments and establish opposites within. We will own both sides. We will always hide our objective, but carry out our plan. They will perform the labor for us, and we will prosper from their toil. Our families will never mix with theirs. Our blood must be pure always, for it is the way. We will make them kill each other when it suits us. We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. We will guide them kindly and gently, letting them think they are guiding themselves. We will form an animosity between them through our factions. When a light shall shine among them, we will extinguish it by ridicule or death, whichever suits us best. We will make some rip their hearts apart and kill their own children. We will accomplish this by using hate as our ally. anger as our friend. The hate will bind them totally, and never shall they see that from their conflicts we emerge as their rulers. They will be busy killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbors for as long as we see fit. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us. For they cannot see us. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their death. We shall repeat this over and over until our ultimate goal is accomplished. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger to images and sounds. We will use all the tools we have to accomplish this. The tools will be provided by their labor. We will make them hate themselves and their neighbors. We will always hide the divine truth from them that we are all one. This they must never know. They must never know that color is an illusion, and they must always think that they are not equal. Drop by drop, we will advance our goal. We will take over their land, resources, and wealth to exercise total control over them. We will deceive them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom they will have. We will establish a money system that will imprison them forever, keeping them and their children in debt. When they shall band together, we will accuse them of crimes that present a different story to the world. For we shall own all media. We will use our media to control the flow of information and their sentiment in our favor. When they shall rise up against us, we will crush them like insects, for they are less than that. They will be helpless to do anything, for they will have no weapons. We will recruit some of our own to carry out our plans. We will promise them eternal life, but eternal life they will never have, for they are not us. The recruits will be called initiates and will be indoctrinated to believe false rites of passage to higher realms. Members of these groups will think they are one of us, never knowing the truth. They must never learn this truth, or they will turn against us. For their work, they will be rewarded with earthly things and great titles, but never will they become immortal and join us. Never will they receive the light and travel the stars. They will never reach the higher realms, for the killing of their own kind will prevent passage to the realm of enlightenment. This they will never know. The truth will be hidden in their face. The truth will be hidden in their face. So close they will not be able to focus on it until it's too late. Oh yes, so grand. The illusion of freedom will be that they will never know that they are our slaves. When all is in place, the reality we will have created for them will own them. This reality will be their prison. They will live in self-delusion. When our goal is accomplished, a new era of domination will begin. Their minds will be bound by their beliefs, the beliefs we have established from time immemorial. But if they ever find out they are our equal, we will perish then. This they must never know. If they ever find out that together they can vanquish us, they will take action. They must never ever find out what we have done, for if they do, we shall have no place to run. For it will be easy to see who we are once the veil has fallen. Our actions will have revealed who we are, and they will hunt us down, and no person shall give us shelter. This is the secret covenant by which we shall live the rest of present and future lives. For this reality will transcend many generations and lifespans. This covenant is sealed in blood, our blood, we, the ones who from heaven to earth came. This covenant must never ever be known to exist. It must never ever be written of or spoken of. For if it is the consciousness, it will release the fury of the prime creator upon us, and we shall be cast into the depths from which we came and remain there until the end of time, infinity itself. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up.
Let me. Oh, we up. It's up. We up and it's up. Because we on their ass now. It don't matter how many distractions they try to pose. We not getting off the Epstein files. We not getting off the genocidal activities that y'all perpetuating in Iran, in Gaza, in Palestine. We over you killing our brothers and sisters around the world. It's up. It's up. And the funny thing about it is they knew this was coming. But to continue to, that's the insanity of evil. You continue to perpetuate your bad deeds, thinking you have all the time in the world, when in all actuality, you don't really get away with anything. And the insurmountable damage and pain that they've caused, there's no forgiving that. So what's going to transpire as this system falls apart, it's going to be something like we've never seen before, but it needs to happen. We're in the age of enlightenment. We're in the age of knowing. We're in the age of Aquarius. And this was written times past. We're just privileged and fortunate enough to be alive during this. Again, which side you gonna be on though? Roll with the winner.
Great progress by causing confusion and work stoppages in all areas of the world. Financially, the dollar is being devalued even faster than we could have hoped. Politically, the public has lost total confidence in any form of government. The threat of universal war is a daily possibility. As you know, we ourselves do not need to hold any visible office of leadership. As a matter of fact, it's better that we do not. If we control the finances, news media, food, transportation, energy, we control everything. It is important that you, as world leaders, keep our program before your country. With our World Bank and computer program operational, we now have the capacity to control the financial affairs of every human being on Earth by giving each person his own computer number. Anytime his number is used, we would know his financial situation at once. He could not buy or sell anything without his computer number. It will simplify their lifestyles tremendously. The end result will be a one-world monetary and government system that we alone will control.
Social security number.
Look, that's our ship!
Purple!
An emergency message. Outbreak of the deadly virus is spreading rapidly.
A virus?
A worrying new challenge in efforts to contain the Hantavirus.
All we want right now is to feel safe.
For now, nobody is being allowed off the boat.
All ships must remain at sea.
Have fun! My booze!
It's the same disease that killed Betsy Arakawa, the wife of late actor Gene Hackman.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus. I'm saying it wasn't the hantavirus.
They're buying it. They're buying it.
Your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare, a virus. What killed those men? A silent weapon for a quiet move.
But somebody stole Hantavirus in 2024.
This shit is unbelievable.
That's what the internet's saying. An old post from 2024 is circulating, and it details 324 vials of deadly viruses stolen from an Australian lab. Of course, Hanta was one of them. There was even a virus that transmitted from horse to human.
Simpsons don't miss.
Interesting because even now, people aren't worried about the Hantavirus itself because it doesn't spread from human to human. The Andes variant of Hanta, that does spread from human to human, and that is what's getting people worried. That was the first update of the day, but now the second. The scammers have arrived, and some of you guys called it. If you saw the last video, there wasn't any direct exposure to a Hantavirus drug yet. That moment came even faster than I expected, as two companies announced they are working on a treatment. The first one is T-Raw, and they put out an official statement saying they are advancing clinical candidates for the treatment of Hanta. The best part about this one, T-Raw's chief medical officer of the company is Robert Redfield, the former CDC director from 2018 to 2021. I wish I was making this up, but they announced it early in the morning, a few hours before stocks even opened. Then later in the day, the one you guys kept posting about in the comments, Moderna, they said in a statement, not an official...
Can't make this shit up. Create the problem, create the solution. create the problem, create the solution. The same play. It's the same play. You can't make this shit up, man.
Release, they confirmed they were exploring a hantavirus treatment, and they styled it as early stage and ongoing. This should all sound familiar. Many people lost money after 2020 when these biotech stocks, the same exact ones, they pumped and dumped on the news cycle, and they are not long-term investments. They move with the hype and fear, and once nothing happens or slows down, they will rug pull you and they will not feel bad about it. Being early will help you like it did on I&O, but you're swimming with the sharks. I hope you're paying attention.
Do you know what isn't funny?
I'm gonna send this to you. It's for people who love it. Palm Beach Pete.
But why do the puppets think it's funny? According to the Armenian philosopher Gurdjieff, political leaders aren't fully alive. They're actually actors inside of a waking sleep, grooming systems of mechanical humanity. Gurdjieff believed that humans actually bond with being oppressed. That these oppressive systems that humans give their power to is a willing collective slavery, where people are so sedated they're like sleepwalking souls lost in the twilight of the night. Data point number 1. American woman who thinks Sharia law is liberating.
Sharia law starts now. Our brother in Islam, Islamic Caliphate of New York, starts today, baby.
Sharia law is responsible for hurting and suppressing women, but many groups of women in America want to bring Sharia law into power. According to Gurdjieff, these humans are not yet liberated. They're actually machine-like and run by a form of hypnosis, where their actions are determined by the environment they live in and not by their own activated will. Remember, the party slogan of 1984 was, "Freedom is slavery." You can convince someone to enjoy their suppression and therefore have a willing slave. According to Gurdjieff, the environment that we're born into, by the way, I'm in a hobbit house right now, acts as a synthetic brain that feeds us thoughts and beliefs. So many people in the world do not think using their own minds, but outsourced thoughts and emotions that are fed to them. In psychology, there is a term called masochism, which means you're deriving pleasure from helplessness. And some psychologists believe that masochism is developed when a child's will is crushed. So when your environment doesn't meet you at the growth of your own will, you are met with a loss of self, a sort of inner death is experienced. Therefore, helplessness becomes your way of life, your religion, little butter. And I believe that the largest religion of today is actually not Christianity and not Islam, but a shadow religion of learned helplessness grooming the confines of the subconscious mind.
Do you believe in mechanized humans? Let me know your thoughts below.
The President of the United States is fucking lying! I think this whole administration has completely lost their fucking mind! And I think we're all gonna die!
So y'all still in?
I agree with everything he said prior to the death statement. Wait, all of us ain't gonna die. I mean, I get the plot of the movie. If you haven't seen, Let's Not Leave the World Behind. What movie is that? God, I'm having so many brain farts today. It's on Netflix. It came out a few years ago. But yeah, it was a good movie. But nah, we're a lot of us are gonna make it. But yeah, the president is always lying. They don't give a fuck about us. And it's time to wake the fuck up. But we're not all gonna die.
Matrix. Y'all still watching sports, still watching basketball, football, fake moon landing. Y'all still enjoying all them brain rot shows and movies. You're not learning yet that all this shit is fucking scripted. It's all fake. It's all WWE theatrics. All owned by the Jews to feed the goy their slop. Keep them numb, dumb, programmed, and predictable. Huh? Y'all still out here trusting the science? Y'all still believing what the doctors and them 3-letter agencies recommend to y'all? Huh? Y'all still believing that they move with your best interest in mind, huh? Y'all still believing that the pharmaceutical companies are out here trying to cure you? That your doctor isn't paid off and paid to push a pill whether it's good for you or not? That just because something says FDA approved it means it's good? Are y'all still trusting it? You still trusting your government? You still trust that your government has your best interest in mind? You still think that you as a middle to low class American mean anything to the powers that be? You still fucking living in La La Land? And I mean, I'm serious. I ask because I truly wonder what it's going to take for people to snap out of the hypnosis. What will it take for people to realize anything they feed you through all 5 of your senses ain't for your benefit? The food ain't beneficial. All the products that they sell for you to use have zero benefit other than the benefit of turning profit for companies and their higher ups. nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, is made with your best interest in mind. Everything is designed to make you sick and keep you sick, so they can also sell you the fix that in reality, it may help somewhat fix a problem, but will create another 5, which then they'll have 5 more products to fix those 5 issues, which will in turn will create 25 more. Have you not started to see the fucking pattern of the program yet? People, we're living in an illusion. In this magical world, in this magical self-created world where we really want what's best for the people, where greed isn't the main engine behind all creation, that man is kind to one another, that others really want you to succeed, that everything isn't a con or a mirage. I mean, what is it going to take for the masses to snap out of it? To snap out of the fact that this American dream is turning out to be a fucking nightmare in reality. We are a corporation, and this is ran like a corporation. But even worse, it's ran as a criminal enterprise. A corporation where the ones at the top will continue to get rich at the cost of your lives. And nobody, I mean absolutely fucking nobody, gives a fuck about you, nor are they coming to save you. So I ask, because I've realized this reality for a long time now, and I'm just wondering what it's going to take for the rest of the world to fucking snap out of it. Because until we snap out of it, the programming will continue to run rampant, and life don't give a fuck about how you feel. That's my rant for today.
Namaste. I think we know what it's going to take for us to snap the fuck out of this, and it's happening now. We need to kind of take the words out of Ronald Reagan's mouth, but just from a slightly different perspective. We need an alien intervention. We need something outside of ourselves, outside of everything that we have known to be reality, to be true, to be things that we can prove, to intervene. As Daryl Anka once said, it's kind of like the parents coming back home after a long vacation and seeing that the kids that were left behind made a complete mess of the house, and them basically coming back home after that long vacation to put some order and structure back into the home. We gave y'all some time to show that you can be responsible, to show that you can be adult and mature, but obviously that's not the case. So the grown-ups are back, and we're gonna have to set some shit straight. And I think that's what it's going to take to wake a lot of people up. Now, again, I do believe that some of us aren't gonna go along for that ride for the betterment of our society. A great deal of the population, and this has always been the case, the majority have always been lost. And I don't think it's going to placate any different in this particular scenario, but I do think that this is the coup de grace, the thing that needs to happen in order for us to wake out of this slumber. Because I mean, you think about it, the economy is already collapsing. I personally believe that we have been in an economic recession for a few years now, but that hasn't stopped people from consuming. That hasn't stopped people from going about their day-to-day activities as if nothing has changed in our society from a knowledge standpoint as to what they have been doing, how they have been manipulating us, how they have stolen our children, how they have sacrificed our children, how they have eaten and cannibalized our children, and people are still living in La La Land. So yeah, I'm all for the benevolent and the malevolent forces of extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings coming and just shaking this up. I'm also of the mindset that I think that we do need a cleansing. I don't know how many cycles, I mean, depending on who you talk to or where you get your information from, where the fourth generation, the fifth generation of a reset. And we have all the mechanizations that this needs to transpire before we just completely spiral out of control. And the quite bit of the Bible that I do know, I know that there is a passage that said if time wasn't cut short, because we know that there's this acceleration of time, days are just running into each other. I feel like we just started 2026 and it's already May, which is crazy. But anyway, the passage says that if time wasn't cut short, that the very elect would be deceived. And I think that deception reaches far, it's far more reaching than just some type of theological idea or understanding. I think when it says the very elect will be deceived, I think we will be further deceived into concepts and thinking. We have become so defeated by how our society is being ran that we just say, just F it. Like, we're just going to go along with the program until the wheels fall off and people begin losing hope. Because I'm not one of them, obviously, but I know I have heard some spiritual people say, like, bro, like I'm tired. You know, like when is there an end to the madness? And I think we're approaching that time. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I really believe that cleansing our aura, our auric field, cleansing our mind, cleansing our heart is definitely important now more than ever, to be in the process of doing that so that you can have a clear discernment as to what is here and what is to come. Because if you're not putting the right things into your mind, you're not putting the right nutrients into your body for fuel, and you're not fortifying and edifying yourself spiritually, it will be easy for you to be deceived because you're too distracted. All of your energy and your essence is being reverberated on the outside and nothing is going within. And there has never been more of an important time for us to go within than now. I know for me, I've picked up my meditational practices. I think I mentioned it earlier in the video that I just completely stopped drinking alcohol. It's poison. So I'm therefore not going to put poison in my body. Period. I don't care if it's a social lubricant, whatever. And I know that eliminates me from a lot of social interactions, different places. And those are obviously places that I no longer need to be because spiritually I'm elevating into another plateau. And part of spiritual revampment and modification is understanding that as you build yourself into this new person, there are going to be some things that you need to shed. And part of that shedding process is giving up things that you probably enjoyed, things that were a part of your life socially. And I think the hardest part that most people will have with that process is may mean giving up some people in your life as well, or just allowing that relationship to organically separate, divide, so that you can make room for the people that are actually meant to be in this part of the process with you. But we have been greatly domesticated. We have been domesticated since the moment we breathe our first breath in this reality. And it's our job, not our parents, not our girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, whatever your flavor is. It's not their job to fix you. It's your job to fix you. And that takes time. That is a process of death every single freaking day. And if you're not built for that, then you'll fall by the wayside. You will be a mechanical puppet for the 15-minute cities that they're trying to implement, the Neuralink that they're trying to implement. They're trying to take away your humanity so that you can continue to be a mouth-breathing consumer, something that they see as less than human, as the sister said in reading the manuscript, the Rockefeller manuscript earlier. So, I really just admonish you guys to do your research, pure and cleanse your heart. You know, if there's somebody that you need to forgive that person. If there's something you've done to wrong somebody, seek forgiveness from that person. We're living in a late hour now where none of that shit really matters now. Grudges and negative energy and low vibrational. The rap industry got a bunch of plants in it. They're constantly pushing demonic, low frequency vibrations toward the public, particularly the youth. You just gotta let that go. It's time. It's really time. And I can't say this enough. Like, I love doing these videos and dispensing this information, because if this is my part in playing in the awakening process, then so be it. And I'm happy to do it because I know that it's resonating with somebody out there. You might not see this video today. You might not see it in a week. Hell, you might see this video in a year or so. But I feel like the important thing for me is knowing that the vibration that I put into the collective was one of discernment, was one of sincerity and love. So I can live with myself knowing that I'm doing my part in that regard to make sure that my generations to come and other people's generations that will populate the planet are left better than I was, than the generation prior to me was. That's what it's all about. We're here to love one another. We're here to cleanse one another. And as a collective, we can and we are doing just that. So, like I said earlier, man, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you guys have any thoughts, I would love to interact with you guys. I don't like just talking on here. I mean, I enjoy doing the videos, but I mean, again, like, this is an interactive platform. This is what the internet, this is what YouTube is about. So if you guys have any thoughts, please feel free to share. Share the video with as many people that you know would have an interest, that will have a inkling of passion for this information. And as always, man, I love y'all, man. I love you guys. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Please do not wrap your identity in finances. Do not let the matrix deplete you of your energy and your essence. Be outside in nature. Take your feet off in the grass. Do some grounding. Get plenty of sun. It's getting warmer now, so make sure you're getting plenty of vitamin D. Eat a balanced diet. Try to cut, you need carbs. Cut down on your starches. Making sure you're getting plenty of fiber, plenty of protein, plenty of electrolytes, probiotics in your diet. And just take care of yourself, man. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water. And I love y'all, man. I can't tell you guys that enough. Thank you for tuning in with me again for another installment. I'm looking forward to the next, because I feel like as I'm building momentum with my platform, that I'm getting more feedback from people, and I see that it's making a difference. So I really love that. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Be intentional with the people that are around you. Be present with the people around you, and make sure that you're pouring nothing but love, positive vibrations, affirmations, and abundance to those that are around you. Love you guys. Peace. Till next time. One.